patients go to UHealth International for consultations with renowned physicians, advanced treatment technologies, leading-edge medical therapies, and state-of-the-art surgical procedures. Whatever your particular reason for going to UHealth International, you will receive customized medical care delivered within a compassionate, multicultural setting. The care you need when you need it. For the record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Monday, the 28th day of July 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on our roads, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road. Remember, the life you save may just be your own. Unfortunately, this morning we're hearing about 2 road fatalities on the roads of the Cayman Islands, and that is extremely unfortunate. As a result of that, those persons driving into town, you will be affected by traffic. You will find that traffic is probably being diverted or moving much slower as well. So please be patient out there. And I'd like to extend our sincere condolences to those families that are affected by these fatal road accidents as well. Again, this morning, while the news was out there about these accidents right there on the east, the Rex Crichton Boulevard, also known as the East-West Arterial, one driver in and out of traffic at speeds exceeding 50 miles an hour easily. People just simply don't learn, or they don't care. So what we as road users, what we have to do, we have to drive defensively. We have to ensure that we observe the rules of the road. By driving defensively, then you can do your part in saving lives as well. So, folks, today, Monday the 28th of July 2025. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday, or if you celebrated one over the past few days, a happy belated birthday. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. And of course, we want to give a big shout out to our own Mr. Joel Wilson. Big shout out to him also. This morning, I saw on a Facebook post yesterday, Mr. Ben Mead in a hospital over in Florida as well. Want to wish him also a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I have the distinct pleasure and honor of being your host. My name is Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Right back with us this morning, none other than that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp number 925-3261. So let's look at the birthday shout-outs again. Brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Today, we see Bridget Thompson celebrating her birthday. Miss Bridget Thompson. Also, Mr. Davison Ruende. He is celebrating his birthday today. Tomorrow, Richard Greaves celebrating his birthday tomorrow, July 29th, and Jarlath Sheridan also celebrating birthday. And I see happy 89th birthday to the legendary, iconic, highly respected, loved, admired, accomplished, influential record-holding cricketer, philanthropist, Sir Gary Sobers, born on the 28th of July, 1936. So happy birthday to Sir Garfield Sobers. And again, to remind you that the For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Let's look at some of the headlines in our local press, local news this morning. Cayman Compass, Remittances, Cayman's quiet engine of global development. Something that we should be proud of. But if we are developing globally and at the same time we see retardation in our development, and I'm not talking about mental or physical, I'm talking about economic retardation here in the Cayman Islands, then one questions whether or not we want to call that success. Also in the news, new twist in the saga of road through the Blue Iguana territory. Another story, Cayman reefs in peril due to land-based pollution. That is what the scientists are saying. Coast Guard commandant calls for safer boating. And from cocaine to crossbows, record volume of prohibited goods seized. So we can touch on all of those this morning. Let's see what Cayman News Service tells us. One story here, woman confesses to stealing $8,300 in rental scam. New Grand Harbor project could increase traffic chaos. Woman who killed friend in crash jailed for over 2 years. And another story, but this was late last week as well. Dr. Mark Lockhart to chair Ponciana's advisory council. We do have 2 callers. We're going to grab one caller before we go to our first commercial break. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I think the next caller might be John.
You made sure you got in before her, right?
Yeah. Beat her to it this morning. Yeah, OC, I want to touch on what I touched on before. Value on all our heritage, all our culture, and everything else is diminishing. OC, I see where developers that come here that buy homes, old-time homes that our forefathers craftily did with their bare hands, a chisel, some sort of hand drill. Remember, they had those hand drills and a hammer.
Yeah. That was called, the hand drill was called a brace and bit.
Brace and bit. Brace and bit is the right word, right?
Yep.
And look, OC, at the craft, at the creation that was done just with those simple, limited
tools.
amount of tools, right? And we don't put no value on that, OC. We don't put value on that. They're quick to lick down one of those houses that those older folks built, right?
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as one of us want to clear a little piece of land, they come and tell us we can't clear it because of the thatch and the mahogany and stuff. But see, we don't need a scientist to come here to tell us that, because Cayman people never cut down no thatch trees because we know they were part of our economy.
Precisely.
They were part of. They don't have to come here and we didn't cut down no mahogany. People cherish mahogany trees and those things, so nobody had to come here and tell us all that. But no, they make it look like we're stupid and ignorant, right? That's basically everybody that come here try to paint us with that same brush. We need to return to courage, and in doing that, we will return to common sense. Common sense, local common sense. Things were a lot better then when we used that. Because, I was on the beach a couple of mornings ago. I walked the beach and I was looking. All the erected statues, or whatever you want to call them, that is on the 7 Mile Beach, that have stopped a distance from where the Coca Plum finish, have hundreds of feet of beach, The beach start, the Mediterranean, when you start getting up just past Lochovia, where these private homes and likes that seems to wanted to protect their dwellings from, I guess, Northwester. They probably come from living on a lake or something. They know about Northwester, and they start putting these walls. So from there on up, that's where the beaches are going. So common sense, or old people say it, high water mark is where the Coca Plum finish. So that was just simple common sense. We didn't need no scientists to come here to tell them that. So as quick as we can return to the old Cayman common sense around here, then things will be a lot better. Because like I said, they knocked down everything that had painted the picture of being Cayman. to the point where if you leave, from time you leave on the wharf in town, straight to the turtle farm, like I said, you don't identify one single thing except the house just after you pass the Foster's Republic and West Bay. That's the only thing that I can think of. And I drove there the other day just to make sure that when I speak, I know what I'm speaking about. I don't see anything else that identify anything to do with us. And we only 78 square miles, see?
Yep.
And that whole stretch already have been depleted. Nothing that identify us. And that's sad, see. And for people to come here and tell us that we're not fit, when we're the one who did what we had to do to keep this place to a point where they fall in love with it, to the point where they don't want to leave, to the point where most of them that gave up the colonial system are here not only to enjoy the festivities, but also killing to get our passport. Now you're going to travel with a British passport after you denounce the British. The Indians, Gandhi, they kick the British out of there a long time ago. Now I see 1 million. I'm here too.
Got to go to a commercial break, but phone lines will be open all morning. Please feel free to call back. We still have another caller on hold. We will take that caller as soon as we return. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Captain Swanson Curry Ebanks, 1914 through 1989. Curry Ebanks was the oldest of 10 children of John Audnett and Celestia Elvira Ebanks and attended West Bay Primary School. Taught by some of the great Caymanian sea captains, he took command of his first ship at 17. He qualified as a master mariner at 21 and continued his life at sea until a car accident terminated his maritime career in 1960. He married 3 times and was widowed twice, and he fathered 8 children. He is best remembered for his victorious battle with the 1944 hurricane, which overtook his ship, the Jemson, en route from Swan Island to Grand Cayman. At the height of the storm, he decided to demast the ship to prevent it from rolling over, which would have meant certain death for everyone aboard. During the next 8 days, the ship had to be demasted 3 times. Each time, Captain Curry had the sails put into a seaman's bag and attached to the bow to function as a sea anchor, guiding the ship purely by dead reckoning. When the storm subsided and he got his first confirmed sighting, he was 5 miles off East End.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
My mom Mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
This summer, happiness is better when you share it. Coca-Cola invites you to share a Coke with someone special. Grab an ice-cold Coke and find a name. Maybe theirs, maybe yours, maybe a surprise. Because nothing says you matter like sharing a smile and a Coke. So who will you share a Coke with today? Find your name, find your friends, and share a Coke. Available now. Stores island-wide.
This is an announcement for shareholders of Cayman National Corporation Limited. Republic Financial Holdings has made a cash offer of $7.75 per share for the purchase of the remaining minority shareholdings of Cayman National. The offer is open until 5 p.m. Cayman time on July 29th. Shareholders are reminded to review the offer and submit their form of acceptance to offers at rfhl.com if they wish to accept the offer. For any questions, shareholders can reach out to Republic Financial Holdings at offerquestions@rfhl.com.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. 6.5 minutes before we go to our 8 o'clock news. We still have a caller on hold. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm going to say it again. I am not in any competition with Mr. Rankin. He needs to behave himself. Behave himself. And I don't have my phone on speed dial. And the reason why I'm calling so early too is because I thought you might have had guests and I wanted to get something across to you. To
Okay.
Mr. Connor, tell me something. The 7-mile stretch, let's say from the governor's house going west, is there a
going north or south? You would go north or south. Going west, you're going out into the ocean.
Oh Lord, go. Now you're going to put me in a position here. West is west, going West Bay.
Okay, going towards West Bay. Okay, good.
Just asking, if government have or had any property from the governor's residence going to West Bay on that 7-mile stretch? Is any property down that belongs to the government that is being leased or has been sold and it was government?
I am not aware. I know to the south, let's say, for instance, Villas of Galleon, that was government, and the original owners had it on a 99-year lease. And I believe that we had one government administration that eventually, I think, sold those leases, and they ended up then outright being owned rather than leased. They were owned by the current owners, I believe.
So what about Lime Tree Bay? Is anything in there, and Governor Square, anything there for our government?
Somewhere in the Gulf Coast area, there was something there as well. And that may have been sold off by governments or one of our governments also in the Gulf Coast area.
Yeah, so Galleon Beach.
Villas of the Galleon, I'm sure
Villas of
yeah.
the Galleon. So that was government, and you understand that piece has been sold. So you don't know of any other property on that stretch of 7 Mile that is still under 99 years lease that belongs to government, or everything is
not aware, but you can get that information from Lands and Survey Department. You know, they would have that information on there in terms of the one. You know, I don't even believe that you need to know the block and parcel number. Once you know the area, I don't know whether or not they charge a fee for that information, but you could get the information, and you can get a history of the ownership of the property as well, because you see on the land papers all of the transfers that would have taken place.
Well, I'm going to give that job to you.
I'm not sure about that.
But why to Mr. Connor is because, you know, we as the people of this island and giving all the investors on that 7 Mile stretch hill, and not realizing that the past government has been responsible today why we don't have any beach to a degree. And now they say that we got the public beach, which is facing the guard hotel, and we're not even sure where that's going to turn, how that's going to turn. So, you know, I would really like to know what government owns still on that 7 Mile stretch, and why we, the people, is having so much problem trying to get onto the beach, because government knew that they had some property there. They leased it out and probably sold some of it, and we don't know what is still being leased. But anyhow, I'm quite sure someone will probably call and say something about it. One more question, I'll let you go.
Sure.
You remember when Cayman Airways was had that charter flight going on to Barbados? Cayman Airways, Barbados. They was going they were doing a charter flight.
Recently?
Some months ago, man, they were doing a trip to Barbados.
Yes. When they had a route, going to Barbados, yes.
And it didn't kind of work out some. Just curious. I wonder if Cayman Airways got paid, because I was told that you know, they wanted us to come down there, and if it didn't work out, then they will be held responsible for what.
And we were guaranteed a certain amount of money, a certain amount of payment, irrespective of the whether or not the flights were fully booked.
Someone could tell us that today, that it was really paid up. Just curious. But anyhow, I'm giving you that job to check out 7 Mile stretch for me.
I'll see if I can contact someone in Lands and Survey if they can help out with that as a public service.
Yeah, and also, by the way, can investigate about Lime Tree Bay as well as Governor Square to find out if that still belongs to government, if that is being leased, and so forth, because we need to know what government want to do how, because we got so many people here punished.
Okay, I'll see what we can find out. Thank you very much. Folks, we've reached that time, top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor, and studio time by Foster's is 8 o'clock.
School starts here. Right on. Because nothing says endless possibilities like a fresh page.
At Foster's, find supplies needed to spark their talent, like notebooks, folders, pens, markers, all at prices that make the grade.
It's more than just paper and pencils. It's potential, creativity, and confidence.
So, load up their backpacks with the tools to dream big and write their own success story.
Check out our in-store school zones to make it easy to grab exactly what you need. Or shop online at shop.fosters.ky.
Foster's, full of paper, pens, and possibilities.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Investigations are underway this morning after two separate crashes have left two people dead. Police and other emergency services were called to a crash on Shamrock Road around 1:30 a.m. near Cool Springs Close in Savannah. Shamrock Road is closed between Spots Newlands Road and Countryside, with traffic being diverted onto Hurst Road and Rex Crichton Boulevard, respectively. This single motor vehicle collision came less than 2 hours after 911 got a report of a motorcycle crash on the westbound side of the Linford-Pearson Highway near the new Buttonwood development. 2 lanes were blocked heading into town earlier this morning, so heads up for drivers there as well. Police confirmed the deaths in both crashes. These are Cayman's second and third fatal crashes of the year. In other news, a jewelry heist case heads to court. Here's Radio Cayman's Jevi Ebanks.
Janae McKenzie, Eddington Bush, and a minor who cannot be named have been charged with the theft of jewelry from Caribbean Jewelers in January this year. Miss McKenzie and the youth have entered not guilty pleas to the charges of theft, the particulars of which allege that on the 4th of January at Caribbean Jewelers, they stole 2 cigarro necklaces, Cuban link chains, a Spanish coin, a rope chain, and a Cayman link chain. They also entered not guilty pleas to handling stolen goods. They've opted for a jury trial. Mr. Eddington Bush has not yet entered pleas in the matter. The trio are expected to stand trial at the beginning of December, with Crown Counsel Andre Wedderburn prosecuting the case. They are scheduled to appear in Grand Court again on the 22nd of August, followed by a case management conference on the 30th of October ahead of the trial. Jevi Ebanks, Radio Cayman News.
And finally, 5 cruise ships are visiting the Cayman Islands this week, bringing nearly 20,000 people to Grand Cayman's shores. The first is scheduled to visit tomorrow. Disney Treasure can carry up to 3,400 people. Wednesday, it's Celebrity Reflection with up to 3,000 passengers. Up to 76,000 people can be housed on Carnival Horizon and Celebrity Beyond, which are stopping on Thursday. MSC Seascape is the final ship of the week. That ship has a 5,600 passenger capacity. You can find the full ship schedule online at caymanport.com. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Debbie Russ. Thailand and Cambodia have agreed to an unconditional ceasefire from midnight local time following 5 days of fighting. Cambodia's leader called it an opportunity to move forward. His Thai counterpart promised the ceasefire would be observed in good faith. More aid trucks have crossed into Gaza, where Israel has eased its blockade after intense international pressure. But humanitarian organizations say the supplies are nowhere near enough. Gaza's health ministry has reported 14 new deaths from malnutrition over the past 24 hours. The Palestinian Authority says Israeli settlers have again attacked the village of Taibe in the occupied West Bank. They burned 2 cars and spray-painted graffiti in a mostly Christian village. The EU's top negotiator has defended its trade agreement with the United States. Maroš Šefčovič called it the best deal under difficult circumstances, adding it was better than a trade war with America. President Trump has said he's very disappointed with Vladimir Putin and suggested he'd reduce a 50-day deadline for Russia to agree to a ceasefire with Ukraine. He was speaking in Scotland ahead of talks with the British Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. The Kremlin has described reports of a cyber attack on Aeroflot as worrying, saying that it was trying to find out more. The airline has cancelled dozens of flights after what it called a failure in its information systems. India's military says it's killed 3 armed rebels in Indian-administered Kashmir. Reports say those killed are believed to have been involved in the deadly attack on tourists at Pahalgam in April. The UN Human Rights Office has urged Iran to abolish the death penalty. There's been a surge in executions with more than 600 reported so far this year. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Boddentown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
School starts here. Countdown to class is on, and Foster's is your premier back-to-school destination. Whether you're shopping for glue sticks, notebooks, backpacks, or snacks, we've got the ultimate selection. And this summer, back-to-school is extra rewarding with our weekly prize drops of gift cards or backpacks stuffed with snacks and supplies. One-stop shopping, smart picks, and prices that make the grade. So check out our in-store school zones to make it easy to grab exactly what you need to fuel their mind and their day. Or shop online at fosters.ky/go. Foster's, school starts here.
Craving something bold, juicy, and packed with flavor? Introducing KFC's new crispy barbecue sandwich served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. That's 100% KFC premium chicken breast, perfectly crispy, deliciously smoky with crispy onions, cheddar cheese, and barbecue sauce. Just the right amount of messy in the best way possible. Stacked with layers of bold KFC flavor, this sandwich is your new obsession. But hurry, it's only at KFC for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today at any of the 3 KFC locations on island. KFC, finger licking good, just got bolder.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcade, where people come first.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 85 degrees. Relative humidity is 83%. The barometric pressure, 30.00 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 2 knots. Overnight low was 79. Synopsis indicate light winds and slight seas are expected over the Cayman Islands for the next 24 hours. Further east, a tropical wave currently over the central Caribbean is expected to support cloudy skies and showers with thunder from tomorrow morning. Radar imagery show isolated thunder showers northwest of the Cayman area, moving towards the west. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of afternoon showers and possible thunder, and temperatures will rise to the low 90s with a heat index near 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, pretty much the same, partly cloudy skies with cloudy spells and a 30% chance of showers and isolated thunder, and temperatures falling to the low 80s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. High tide will be this afternoon at 6 minutes past 12. Low tide again this evening at 5:52. The sun will set this evening at a minute after 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at 2 minutes past 6. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Wednesday morning. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcade, where people come first. If you have an objection to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your...
Don't do it, Tevin! I still love you. I have since the day we stole your mom's car and got matching dolphin tattoos.
Oh, Lordy. Janelle? From spring break 08?
Yes, it's me.
Janelle, you've got to move on.
We're like the wedding guest that doesn't ruin the ceremony. CG Britke. Good like that.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Your mornings just got a whole lot buzzier. Join me, Kathy Miller, every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. on The Buzz, Radio Cayman's morning talk show with insight, impact, and inspiration, covering business, policy, finance, health, culture, and the biggest local and global issues impacting our Cayman community, with fresh perspectives from younger generations to stories of inspiration from local entrepreneurs. Tune in and turn up Tuesday and Thursday mornings, 7:30 to 9:30 with me, Kathy Miller, on The Buzz. The Buzz.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's check in with traffic, see what's happening on our roads. A single motor vehicle accident occurred early this morning on Shamrock Road in the vicinity of Cool Springs Close, Savannah. Shamrock Road is currently closed between Spots Newlands Road and Hearst Road Countryside, with traffic being diverted onto Hearst Road and Rex Creighton Boulevard, respectively. Delays expected. As we turn attention to what's happening on our roads, on Cool Road, traffic is steady, heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Cool Road is moving along pretty good. Further down on the Linford-Pearson Highway, traffic is steady. Expect delays as you're heading down to Georgetown. Coming off of Agnes Way, steady traffic. Moderate flow of traffic off of Bobby Thompson Way. And as we turn our attention to downtown Georgetown, looking pretty good on Edward Street. Out of Georgetown on Shedden Road, not looking too bad. Into Georgetown on Shedden Road, moderate flow of traffic. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moving along at a good pace in both directions. Coming from the West Bay four-way stop, flowing at a moderate pace. And that's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12 o'clock. We'll give you another look at traffic. Remember, click it or ticket. Have a good morning and drive safe.
There's something new at Subway. Indulge your taste buds with our new barbecue pork rib sandwich tender. Smoky pork ribs smothered in sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, built just the way you like it. It's bold, rich, and seriously satisfying. But hurry, it's here for a limited time only. Order now on the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick in-store pickup, or get it delivered with Bento or Let's Eat. The all-new barbecue pork rib sandwich, only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
Yummy.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
For the past 10 years, Health City Cayman Islands has been providing a comprehensive range of in-house medical services, from routine care to highly complex surgeries. We've transformed healthcare in the region, saving thousands of lives in the process. Recognized for quality and excellence, Health City brings together expert doctors, the best technology, and the latest techniques to provide world-class healthcare to those who need it. Health City Cayman Islands, a decade of healing.
Who will be the next Miss Universe Cayman Islands? Join us on the 9th of August, 7 p.m. at the Westin Ballroom to see our 4 beautiful ladies vying for the crown. Purchase your tickets on Eventpro and at Funky Monkey today. VIP tickets are also available. Come out and support your favorite contestant. A special thanks to our main sponsors, the Cayman Islands Ministry of Tourism, Cayman Airways, Compass Media, Radio Cayman, Caymanian Times, King Sports Center, The Finishing Touch, Kirk Freeport, Cayman Medical Center Limited, Crystal Caves, Woodlands Corporation, and the Physiotherapy Center.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Our phone lines are open. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, WhatsApp number 925-3261. I see here, this is just on WhatsApp, nothing confirmed, but it appears as if there's a motor vehicle accident on South Sound Road. Say that police are closing the road, directing traffic from Arts Best. I'm not sure what that is to Walker's Road. In terms of our second caller this morning's question in relation to leased property, one of our listeners has written and said the Ritz-Carlton is leased property, and then the lease was sold with the facility. Another of our listeners also said they also mentioned the Ritz-Carlton property sweetheart deal between the UDP and Mr. Ryan ? And they point out that is where the Holiday Inn is. Then they speak about the Freetag's old lease as well, where the Holiday Inn was. So some people know some things about it. I'll again try to see what I can find out from Lands and Survey as well. Hope I don't have to do a FY request, that they can provide that information without having to go through an FY request. Also, I've been asked this morning to send birthday greetings to Mr. Marfield Shillette, Mr. Biggie. Celebrated his birthday yesterday. Greetings coming from all of his Tropical Gardens family, everyone, all of the neighbors, everyone, including my sister, Arlene Campbell. It's today, not yesterday. His birthday is today. And birthday greetings are also coming from his wife, Miss Sadie, daughters, Cordella and Holly Ann as well, Mr. Biggie. And of course, he's, one of twin brothers. His twin brother, unfortunately, passed away as well. So, Mr. Biggie, happy birthday to you. Any callers on hold? No callers on hold. Those of you who enjoy reading, again, some people may criticize and say, well, why are you giving them coverage? When there are good news articles, we should share them. When we're armed with additional information, it really, really helps us so much. Remittances, Cayman's quiet engine of global development. Foreign workers sent home more than $318 million in 2024. Let's see what I can pull from this article written by Daphne Ewing Chow. And she speaks about a particular Indian lady who left the comfort of her family home in late 2024. She answered a call of duty, a skilled women's health physiotherapist working at a respected hospital. She had long benefited from the care and stability of living with her parents. But as household expenses mounted and her mother's health declined, she made the difficult decision to seek opportunities abroad, determined to send remittances home and ensure her family's well-being. This lady was recruited to the Cayman Islands by Ms. Jacka Smith, a retired physiotherapist and business owner who was looking for someone to provide the much-needed service of addressing often overlooked women's health issues at her Walker's Road business, RVC Rehab Services. This person, Bala, as she was known, is gentle, a good listener, and created a safe space for women. Those are the remarks from her employer. She said her new chapter was from early. She arrived alone with no family and far away from anything familiar. She would learn to budget, navigate unfamiliar roads, and find ways to stretch her earnings so she could send as much as possible back home. This is her now in Cayman. Every 4 months, she saves nearly 60% of her income and sends it to India. The conversion rate and bank fees chip away at the total, but what remains still carries great weight. Her money goes toward housing, debts, and hospital bills. She lives simply, sharing a room in the house of an Indian family, buying groceries only on sale, and denying herself luxuries so her parents can live without fear and fear of falling ill without care. She's quoted as saying, "It's a mix of pressure and pride. Pressure to provide for my parents and pride that I can." She's one of a growing number of Indian nationals now living in the Cayman Islands. The article says that as of the 31st of October 2024, Indians held the third highest number of work permits, 2,133, behind only Jamaicans at 15,244 and Filipinos at 6,678. While their numbers may seem modest, their impact is anything but. Well, when you say their numbers may seem modest, Miss Journalist, what do you mean by that? When you look at the population of the Cayman Islands, those numbers, I don't consider them to be modest, Miss Journalist, Miss Cayman Compass Journalist. Goes on to write and said, "Even though I live as far from home now, the work I do here in Cayman allows me to send money back to help cover their living expenses and medical needs. It gives me peace of mind to know that I can contribute. The cost of living in India is rising, and my support makes a real difference in their day-to-day life. In India, remittances are a cornerstone of the economy. In 2024-2025, the Indian diaspora sent home a record-breaking $135.46 billion, making the country the world's top recipient of remittances. That figure represented 3.5% of GDP, fueled by workers like this person in this article, who quietly bridge two worlds, serving one while sustaining another. The subject of this story, her twin brother, still lives in India, and That person spoke with the Compass via Zoom and is quoted as saying, "She is the backbone of her family," he said. "We miss her every day, but we are proud of her." The article then has a section that covers remittances and Cayman's role in global development. Cayman is typically known for its financial services and tourism industries, not for its role in global development. But a closer look reveals the impact of migrant workers who send home millions of dollars in remittances each year. Despite earning modest wages, many make daily sacrifices to support their families abroad, covering essential expenses such as rent, school fees, medical bills, funerals, groceries, and home repairs. These monthly transfers acts of duty and love sent by those who left everything behind speak to a quiet but noble part of Cayman's role in the global economy. Well, we also, and these are my words now, we also know about that nobleness. Our seafarers, they went to sea and they sent their remittances home. They worked hard for that. They weren't really competing against any nationals per se, like any resident nationals, because they were on the sea and there was a huge demand for sailors at that point in time. And while some of our Caymanians did engage in land-based employment, so we know what it is all about. If you were to dive deep into the whole situation, the negative impact, or the presumed negative impact, that work permit holders are having on some Caymanians, and when we look at any negative impact that seafarers may have had on any other nationality, they're not comparable at all. I can't even imagine any negative impact that our seafarers had on any other seafaring nationality, as well. Let me continue. Those are my comments, and I welcome you to, if you have any comments in that regard, to do so as well. So, in 2024, workers in Cayman sent home more than US $318 million, equivalent to nearly 5% of GDP, and that is according to the Cayman Islands Monetary Authority. While that figure pales in comparison to the $93 billion remitted from the United States, and of course we can't compare Cayman to the United States, Cayman's outflows are substantial when viewed relative to the economy. As a share of GDP, Cayman's remittances rival those in the United Arab Emirates, the world's second largest source of remittance outflows of 7.1% of GDP, and Switzerland, the fourth largest, at 4%. Now remember now that ours is at 5% of GDP. In the first quarter of 2025 alone, Cayman residents sent $74.9 million in remittances via money transfer services like Western Union and MoneyGram. Jamaica received 63.6% of that total, followed by the Philippines, 13.4%, Honduras, 6.9%, and the United States, 3.8%. India received a much smaller share of 0.2%. Cayman Islands government collected, and this is something that we should take note of, because we continue to hear people say that we don't get any revenue from remittances. This article says that the Cayman Islands government collected US $3.4 million in remittance-related fees in 2024 and has forecast US $6 million in revenue from these fees for the 2025 fiscal year. In the first quarter of 2025, between January and March, it generated US $1.43 million from local money transfer providers. With that, we have to go to a commercial break. Please stay tuned. I will continue to share this information with you. I believe we do have a caller on a WhatsApp. We will take that caller as soon as we return. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
It's a sizzling summer with Jan Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with Jan Money. Visit www.janmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with Jan Money.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better.
This is For the Record.
A caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Connor, and pleasant Monday morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you, and the same to you, my dear.
I was just listening to the information you were reading off there from the article, and I made a post this weekend about something similar. And the first thing I want to say is, as you were saying just now, we can't compare the Cayman Islands to the United States. Geographically, we can't compare the Cayman Islands to any major nation considering our size. And that's the first thing that must always be taken into consideration when we, do these types of comparisons when, on the topics of the article. In addition to that, we cannot sacrifice our people and our livelihood at the expense of, others coming to our shores to I want to just say, to better themselves in their lives. And while we welcome, we've always been a nation that have been open-armed and welcoming to everyone as much as possible, within the means once they're legal. But we have to consider our people also. President Trump, for example, I know a lot of people don't like his radical strategies and the way that he's doing things, but someone who lived in the United States for a number of years and was in certain circles, I know one of the primary reasons he's doing what he's doing is because he is trying to think of America first and Americans, and trying to not have certain circumstances pull on the resources of the United States that could benefit America and Americans in need. And I say that because I know certain things, and we have to think about that. I listening to you reading that article, I've met many people here in Cayman that that are immigrants, and become friends with a lot of people also, and I've helped some of these people, and so I can absolutely understand some of their situations. I nevertheless, first and foremost, think we have to think of Cayman, not that we have to, we should think of Cayman more of a transient, place for some people to come. It's not a place that everyone has to stop here and live here once they arrive here. It is simply not possible. When I'm flying in a plane and I look at the size of Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac and Little Cayman collectively, we're still a very small nation geographically and in numbers for our people, and it just cannot happen that everyone that comes here, and that's what happens, everyone that comes here mostly want to stay. They love the islands, they love the financial resources, even though a lot complain about them, but they still want to stay, and it's just not possible. So we have to think of the best way of how we can balance this, and I think, for me, what I see is happening now with this new government, I think we may be on the road to that, but we don't want people to feel, well, we really don't want to welcome you here. But at the same time, we have to think of our nation, as every government for their nation have to think also of their people. And I don't know how else to say it in terms of I feel for the subjects of the article. I easily understand. When I went to school in the States, I took my kids with me, and it wasn't an easy road, and I was there dependent on being a student and feeling my way around. So I can kind of understand, but at the same time, we have to find a balance. And with the remittance, I know the previous administration was looking at the remittance process and fees in terms of how that should be played out, whether they were going to, I don't remember if they did implement a new fee process or something like that, but I do believe they were looking at it. So, how do we find a balance in looking out for our people and looking out for our country, and still being, kind of open-minded to saying to people, okay, well, if you're needed, your resources, your labor is needed, we don't mind you coming to the Cayman Islands. We just want you to know it's not going to be a place that everyone has to settle. There was, quickly in wrapping up, there was an article someone shared with me the other day, and I won't say the national, but there was a lady that came to Cayman and was working, and she clearly said her agenda from the start pretty much was that she was going to bring the rest of her family here, and she'd actually taken a picture, I think, at Owen Roberts Airport, where the rest of the family had arrived here, and it was maybe, I don't remember how many people it was, but I think it was over 4 or 5 other family members that she clearly stated she had accomplished what she had set out to do when she left home and said she was coming to the Cayman Islands. And we really, in all sensibleness, if we want to control our population numbers and not overwhelm our resources, whether our rental markets or our properties or our jobs or our Caymanian people, we have to be mindful that this is what's happening. Now we're seeing the U.S. is saying they're going to be revamping their U.S. citizenship test because it was too easy. So they're looking, and imagine the size of the United States, and they're looking at revamping their programs because, hey, it's just too easy for anyone to come here, and so Cayman have to you know, we have to find that balance. That's all I'm saying, Mr. Connor.
Okay.
So I'll leave you with that.
Thank you very much. Well, with that, I was actually looking at the word for today, word of the day, and I had chosen the word pragmatic, right? And it describes a person or a solution that takes a realistic approach. So that is what I am of the view that our government has to do. We have to take a pragmatic approach to immigration. That pragmatic approach would take into consideration that we are a finite landmass, a very small, finite landmass. We have a very fragile marine environment. We have a very small indigenous population that runs the risk of being decimated. So we have to take a pragmatic approach to immigration, which means is that pragmatic approach means that we are not a receiving country. What do I mean by we are not a receiving country? Unlike Canada, even the United States, even though we see things are turning around there as well, that where they are looking for immigrants. Look, Canada is looking for people to come and populate parts of Canada. We can't be like that because we have a finite landmass. So we have to be pragmatic in our approach to immigration. And that part of that pragmatism will have to be being firm in terms of the policies that we put in place. If you come here to work, you will be here to work and you will leave at a particular period of time. Residence and Cayman status, which is almost akin to citizenship, but they're not the same, will be reserved for only those with some connection with the Cayman Islands. Remember that word, folks, and maybe tell your members of parliament about that. We have to be pragmatic in our approach to immigration. So we have also been asked to send very special birthday greetings to a loving daughter, granddaughter, mother, and precious niece, Sharaka. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Greetings coming from Mother Flo, Uncle Carlington, Mother Myrtle, and the rest of the family. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sharaka. So birthday greetings going out to that individual. I'm just checking back on all of our WhatsApp messages because we had a little issue with our WhatsApp before. No fault of ours, but we have overcome that now as well. One person wanted to know whether or not government still owns the 7 Mile public beach. I believe that government still owns that, but stand corrected in the event that you may know otherwise as well. And I think this one has, this may be a birthday greeting too, but we're waiting for more information to come in from our listener in that regard. And this person said they're not sure whether or not I sent birthday greetings to to Lion Marfield Shillette, who turns 90 years of age today. Yes, A happy birthday was sent out to him from all his tropical garden family, including his biological family as well. And they say, Lion Marfield Shillette, we wish you the happiest of birthdays. He is one of
any other airline. Mobile app or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
This is an announcement for shareholders of Cayman National Corporation Limited. Republic Financial Holdings has made a cash offer of $7.75 per share for the purchase of the remaining minority shareholdings of Cayman National. The offer is open until 5 p.m. Cayman time on July 29th. Shareholders are reminded to review the offer and submit their form of acceptance to offers at rfhl.com if they wish to accept the offer. For any questions, shareholders can reach out to Republic Financial Holdings at offerquestions@rfhl.com.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. I'm going to continue to share the contents of this article in today's Cayman Compass. If we don't have any callers on hold, Ms. Susan, any callers on hold? One caller, let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning, welcome to For the Record.
Yes, again, O.T.
Uh-huh.
And I do promise, John, I'll be at my best behavior going forward.
Okay.
Yeah. I just heard that ad. It seems like the foreign company that bought out the CNB is very anxious to get rid of all the Cayman shareholders and own it outright.
Outright, yeah.
Yeah. I think, which I have friends who also sold their share, and I honestly think that was a bad move that we did that. That was the only lending institute except their credit union that we could say were Caymanian. So we too, like I said this morning, we don't put value on a lot of our things that carry a high value. The CNB Bank, when that came into effect, that was the best thing after Norfolk sliced bread. And the public beach, that is outright owned by government, which when the transfer took place from the JCs, who created that? That wasn't government that created that.
Right.
That was the JCs. But the way the transfer took place, government outright owned it so that if one government was to come one day and say they want to sell it, they could sell it. Not like how the Websters did Smith back there. That was how they were supposed to do that transfer. That it would remain with the people forever. So that was a bad move to make government own it outright. And I'll say, going back to I think the discussion you had last week about Cayman status and not being able to deport a Caymanian. Okay, for those that have Cayman status that are deemed as Caymanians, we can get around that by, you say there's means we can do things, but the easiest mean would be to label them exactly what they are, Cayman status holders. Then it wouldn't be them as Caymanians. If you can't deport a Caymanian, then let's change their title then to exactly what they are. And that would be easy by doing it through immigration law, right? Because the Constitution, you wouldn't have to change that because the Constitution says you are what the immigration law say you are.
Precisely.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to change the Constitution, but we can amend the immigration, and we could change that by saying you are Cayman status holder, something like that, and then we would be able to do more to people who seriously break the law, that have the Cayman status that calls themselves Caymanian.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take on that. What you say about that?
Yes. I would agree wholeheartedly. I would say with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, gotta go.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Later.
Any other callers on hold? No callers on hold. So we're going back to this article, right? And again, I want to commend the writer. While, I would disagree with not the factual things, but some of the conclusions that are arrived at, I must say it's a very good article, and I encourage those of you who are interested in it to read today's Cayman Compass. Daphne Ewing Chow, who's written an article about remittances, Cayman's quiet engine of global development. In the article, she then goes on to talk about the emotional toll. And in that particular section, she speaks of a worker who's a media industry professional, and I'm not calling the name simply because you will see those in an article. It's not necessary for me to publicly call a person's name. So it says this person, a media industry professional from St. Catherine, Jamaica, whose remittances come at a personal cost. Person says that it was very stressful and emotional back then, but I did it for a better life for us, he told the Compass. A father of 3, he remembers vividly the emotional toll of leaving his 1-year-old son behind when he migrated to Cayman in 2001. Today, that son is 24 years old. The person's 2 younger children are still in school, one in high school, the other in trade school, and he sends money home twice a month to help cover their expenses, along with the needs of his wife, his mother, and at times his siblings and even friends. He's quoted as saying that I would say that 1/3 of my salary goes towards my family. My remittance is vital to my loved ones. It's changed their lives for the better, big time. He says that the money he sends home covers groceries, electricity, and water bills, gas, internet, and school fees. He plays the role of father, husband, son, friend, and distant provider, but is often absent for birthdays, school events, and late night illnesses. So those are the sacrifices that person has to make. He's quoted as saying, it's a roller coaster ride emotionally. Sometimes I feel the pressure of being away from my loved ones. It makes me just want to pack my bags and go home. But my goals have changed. I'm working towards financial independence and seeing my children through school. Then there's an article on there's a section, on higher value remittances. That drive for long-term stability is reflected in a number of high-value transfers. Those high-value transfers are considered anything over Cayman Islands dollars 500 Cayman Islands dollars from Cayman are on the rise. Between the first quarter of 2023 and the same period in 2025, such transactions to Jamaica grew by 22%, pointing to either rising incomes, increasing needs back home, or a change in financial strategies. It could be a combination of all three as well, Miss Journalist. At the same time, low-value remittances declined, particularly in the Philippines, signaling a shift towards fewer but more substantial transfers. Remittances account for nearly 9% of the Philippines' GDP, placing the country amongst the most remittance dependent in the Asian Pacific region and in the global top 5 as well. Let's look at love of family. There's an article there about Cayman. Here, for people, again, talking about the first subject of this story, the Indian lady. It is a matter of dignity and survival. Her parents are elderly, and her mother, a closed heart surgery patient, requires ongoing care. Being in Cayman has opened up opportunities for me that I didn't have back home, and I feel grateful that I can use those opportunities to give back to the people who raised me, this person is quoted as saying. So what I find with all of this, with the rising increase that we see in the anti-immigrant sentiment here in Cayman, and some will say, well, I'm not anti-immigrant, I'm just pro-Caymanian. But we don't have too many foreign consulates here in the Cayman Islands, but you would hope and you would trust that those foreign consulates, those representatives, we see them react when something negative happens to their nationals. We see them react in the past when it was put forward that we would tax the salaries of certain nationalities. Why aren't they trying to build better relations and better understanding with the people of the Cayman Islands, including reassuring, saying, we're not here to dominate you, we're just here to earn a living, and at the same time, trying to smooth things out. I saw something on social media platform, and I don't necessarily rely on it, but I'm hearing that His Majesty's Prison Northward is now the subject of focus of possible marriages of convenience of some of their officers as well. Already a reaction towards what government is proposing as far as term limits for non-Caymanian civil servants. Have to go to our headline news. When we return, this conversation will continue. If you want to be included in it, I will give you those numbers that you can call as soon as we return, so don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Shamrock Road has reopened this morning after one of 2 fatal crashes in the early hours of the day forced a closure. There was a motor vehicle crash at 1:30 this morning near Cool Springs Close in Savannah, and another less than 2 hours earlier on the Linford-Pearson Highway, reportedly involving a motorbike. In international news, the Hamas-run health ministry says another 14 people have died of malnutrition in Gaza in the past 24 hours. The deaths were announced as Israel has paused military operations in part of Gaza for 10 hours per day to allow more aid access. Israel is also allowing some aid to be dropped by air, but the BBC is reporting from a Jordanian plane that supplies won't make much difference on the ground. Donald Trump has said there is, quote, real starvation and the U.S. will set up food centers. Meanwhile, 2 leading Israeli human rights groups have accused the country of genocide in Gaza, claims Israel has always denied. Israel has restricted the entry of BBC and other international journalists into Gaza, making it difficult to verify the situation on the ground. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. One of those birthday greetings from the Brack, Shara K. I just wanted to make sure that I got that correct. Okay, Shara K. From her mom and family. We have another one here. Birthday greetings. Okay. Another one going out to Shara K. Coming from your own Uncle Carlington. Just to let you know how much I love you as well. So she's a very popular person this morning as well. Any callers on hold, Miss Susan? No callers on hold. So, folks, I'm going to switch gears, but I'm still going to remain on this whole immigration issue. On a previous show last week, we had a discussion. You heard Lord Graham mention it as well, talking about permanent residents and talking also about Caymanian status, right? And what I want to look at this morning is the the general provisions relating to the loss of permanent residence, how you can lose permanent residence. And our law, our immigration law, says that the board or the chief immigration officer may, in respect of any person who has been granted permission to reside permanently in the islands, that permission can be revoked where A, the holder of permanent residence organizes or engages in subversive political activity or organizes, causes, or promotes racism within the islands or elsewhere. Tempted to say this and then tempted not to say it. Yeah, maybe I should. When we look at some of the nationalities that we have here in the Cayman Islands, and I'm going to try to be as diplomatic as I can about this. When we look at some of the nationalities here in the Cayman Islands, and we look at their countries of origin and the distorted and the dark history that they have as far as race relations are concerned, we keep our fingers crossed and we hope and we trust that they don't bring those with them here in the Cayman Islands. I will say no more. Also, a person's permanent residence can be revoked if the board or the chief immigration officer is satisfied that information given in the application for permission to remain permanently in the islands was false in a material, particular, or concealed a material fact. Can also be revoked if he has been convicted of an offense against the laws of the Cayman Islands, if he has been convicted of an offense under the laws of another country, the nature of which offense would, in the opinion of the board or the chief immigration officer, make his continued presence in the islands contrary to the public interest. A person can also lose their permanent residence if they become destitute, or if the person becomes mentally disoriented or mentally defected as defined in the medical health law. Also, if the person is medically certified to be suffering from a communicable disease that makes his continued presence in the islands dangerous to the community, or if the person is reasonably believed to be a prostitute or to have come to the islands for the purpose of prostitution, or to be living on or receiving the proceeds of prostitution. Also, if the person fails to maintain the level of financial investment stated in the application for permission to remain permanently in the islands. And we keep hearing about scams with that, about shifting figures, shifting accounts, bank accounts, and everything else. If also the person fails to make an annual declaration in respect of himself, his dependents, and other prescribed matters as required by Section 30, subsection 13, if the person has been working in an occupation not specified in his certificate, there are a myriad of reasons why. Here's another one, and this one attracted a lot of interest. If the person is delinquent for a period of more than 90 days with respect to the payment of prescribed fees relating to the right to reside permanently in the islands, or if the person is deemed by Cabinet to be an undesirable inhabitant of the Cayman Islands as well. A myriad of reasons why that can take place. When the opportunity arises, if it does arise during the course of this show, we're going to look at Caymanian status and the possible loss of Caymanian status as well. Meanwhile, we do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. What's up, caller? Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Mr. Orrett Connor.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Okay, and you?
I'm good, thanks.
Okay, I heard you speaking of marriage of convenience.
Mm-hmm.
And certain people working in the civil service.
Well, there's a rumor going around now about employees at His Majesty's Prison Northward.
Okay, because of the new law that the government is putting in place or has put in place.
Well, it's not in place yet, but they're doing it in apparently they're alleged to be doing it in anticipation of it.
Okay, and what exactly is marriage of convenience?
Well, some people would say that every marriage is a marriage of convenience. It's convenient to one or both parties, but I will have to look up the definition, the legal definition as far as the law is concerned. But my understanding is that if you enter into a marriage in order to gain an advantage under the immigration law of the Cayman Islands.
Okay, so if a Caymanian and a foreign national want to get married and the government does not allow it to happen because of reasons which they see that the Caymanian is practically being used to get status concerning the marriage of convenience. Is it possible for the government to put a law in place that if the foreign national is found to be guilty of using the Caymanian because of marriage inconvenience situation, is it possible for the Cayman government to put a law in place that these individuals can be deported if the government finds out that they're trying to do this by using the Caymanian in this marriage of convenience?
The law already addresses marriages of convenience and has stipulations and sanctions or penalties that can be brought. Yeah.
What kind of penalties are those?
I would have to. I would have to look it up. I'll try. I have on the screen here the immigration law. I'll have to scroll through it and look. And if time allows this morning, I can address that issue as well.
Because if the government finds out that a foreign national that wants to marry a Caymanian and the government does not allow the marriage to happen because they feel that the foreign national is practically using the Caymanian to get status.
I don't think that the government can prevent the marriage from taking place. There are instructions and protocols that marriage officers are required to take whenever they're marrying someone, including counseling, ensuring that if, let's say, for instance, if the person is divorced, that they have all of the documentation to provide that. But the government can't prevent it. What the government can do is investigate and prosecute when they find evidence of a marriage of convenience.
Well, when it comes to prosecuting, the government needs to put a law in place that these individuals be deported.
Cabinet can declare anyone undesirable inhabitants of the Cayman Islands. That is already there. Of course, it has to be lawful, but Cabinet can do that. Yeah.
Because anybody that marries a Caymanian to use a Caymanian, that is very serious, especially if they have children with these Caymanians in the future. And just use these Caymanians, right? It should be a law put in place that if the government finds them guilty of this, either by stopping the marriage or canceling the marriage, anybody found guilty of trying to use a Caymanian for marriage of convenience should be deported. That should be the law, because if that is the law, then people are going to take this so serious, they're not even going to attempt to try to use a Caymanian.
Okay, caller, thank you very much for that. We have to go to a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
It's a sizzling summer with Jan Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with Jan Money. Visit www.janmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with Jan Money.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. One of our listeners has shared this with us. The person says, good morning. In the early 2000s, my then employer sent me to their sister company in Bermuda. I have specialized skills, which is why I was sent. My work permit was denied on renewal. There was one available Bermudan. In the end, my permit was renewed. I was not offended. I understood. I don't know if they meant there was not renewed. Person says, I always share with persons when I was there in order to win the locals I worked with, the locals I worked with. I had to make it explicitly clear I wasn't there to stay. I was there for only my work permit period. That allayed any fears, and they didn't see me as a threat. I see nothing wrong with being emphatic to the locals when we are guest workers. When we as guest workers experience hesitation on their part when in another man's land. Why is it here in Cayman we are afraid to articulate this to guest workers? Good. And the person says, have a nice day. And that's a good point. We are fearful of articulating it. We are fearful of offending people. And at the same time, those persons are totally unreasonable when they come with the expectation that they are going to dominate. They are going to exploit and extrapolate everything that they can from the Cayman Islands. That is why, folks, immigration reform is so important. And that is why, remember the word of the day, that is why we have to take a pragmatic approach to it. And the pragmatic approach has to be, number one, what is first and foremost the best for the majority of Caymanians? How do we go about protecting our environment? How do we go about reserving our limited land space that we have for future generations of Caymanians? don't forget the example that I have given in the past, Fiji, and what happened in Fiji as well. Let's see here. Got to keep switching gears. This is let me find, is this today? Yes. Not sure. Okay. We're going to look at loss of Caymanian status. We heard one caller express very emotionally the whole issue of marriage of convenience, and I'm going to there are certain definitions that are in our, let me just remember, section 27 is in the immigration law is the loss of status. Let me look in the definition section to see whether or not we have a definition for marriage of convenience. Let's see if we have one, and I can tell you what our law says. Marriage officer, marriage of convenience. Here we go. In our immigration law, marriage of convenience means, and listen carefully, folks, and listen carefully, caller. Marriage of convenience means a marriage entered into with the primary intention of avoiding, remember that one, avoiding. So, and I'm going to pause for a second, avoiding. So if you're trying to avoid the impending changes in relation to the employment of non-Caymanians in the civil service, and you enter into a marriage now to enter into marriage to avoid that, that could be a marriage of convenience. So again, I'm going to sound like I'm repeating myself, but I have to do it this way. Marriage of convenience means a marriage entered into with the primary intention of avoiding or benefiting from any of the provisions of this law. And this law is the immigration law. So, I don't know if it's a rumor. I don't know if it is just social media chat or what is happening at His Majesty's prison northward in relation to non-Caymanian employees who are now entering into marriages either with the intention of avoiding or benefiting from the immigration and provision of the immigration law. We need to nip it in the bud. We need to look at it right here and right now. I normally don't repeat on my show things that I see on social media, but those old people say, where there is smoke, there is fire, 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 fire. Let's go back to section 27 of the immigration law, and let's look at loss of Caymanian status. And of course, the government, I'm sure, can do something about even those who may try to avoid what is forthcoming as far as non-Caymanian civil servants as well. Mr. Billy Samamba has shared with me, and I haven't had an opportunity to read up the whole case on it, but talking about retrospective legislation as well. So we will be looking at that, but the government can address that whole issue. They can address that issue as well, including if those persons are on contract, they're non-Caymanians, and they're on contracts now. Those things can be addressed. Anything can be done if we want to do so. So let's look at the loss of the right to be Caymanian. The right to be Caymanian granted by the board. This is if it's granted by the board. Now, folks, may be lost. Now, being granted by the board is different from having your status acknowledged, right? The fact that you acknowledging that the person has it by as of right. Where the holder has supplied false or misleading information in a material particular to the board. Where the holder has ordinarily resided outside the islands for a period of 5 years and can no longer be said to be settled in the islands. Where the marriage of the holder, being the spouse of a Caymanian, is deemed by the board to have been a marriage of convenience. And remember what marriage of convenience is, the definition in the law that I shared with you earlier, when you're doing something to avoid or to benefit from the immigration legislation, where within 3 years of the grant to the spouse of a Caymanian of that right to be Caymanian under the earlier law, the marriage of the holder is, in the opinion of the board or the chief immigration officer, has broken down, has declined to the point where the parties have separated as a result of a decree of competent court or a deed of separation, or the marriage no longer subsists. The also provisions for the loss, the board may revoke it if the holder of the right to be Caymanian by entitlement under the law or under any analogous provision in an earlier law may lose that right where he has not been legally and ordinarily resident in the island for a period of 7 years immediately preceding reaching the age of 18. That's the one that sort of gets some people caught up. And there are other provisions here, but we do have callers. So we want to do the break, and then we have two callers. And of course, there are persons who question about when a person is convicted. There are provisions in our immigration law also in relation to status being revoked based on conviction. We're going to take a commercial break. Those two callers, please hang in there. We will take your calls as soon as we return.
This summer, choose from 10 international destinations for your vacation with Cayman Airways. Explore New York, discover Denver, roam Los Angeles, play in Tampa, shop in Miami, tour Panama, uncover Havana, hike in La Ceiba, jam in Kingston, or relax in Montego Bay. Connecting flights are also available from the sister islands. Cayman Airways offers more international non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline, and the lowest rates for checked bags. Book today at CaymanAirways.com, download our new mobile app, or call Cayman Airways reservations on 949-2311. Come fly with us and relax with your uniquely Caymanian airline.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superheroes shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
It's a sizzling summer with Jan Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with Jan Money. Visit www.janmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with Jan Money.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Two callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Connor. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
Great, great. I'm feeling even greater just to hear. I think we got rid of the politicians and we have managers now. That's very enlightening. And a lot of the laws that we're talking about have existed. The past politicians refuse to dig up the laws and enforce them. So we're not at a loss for laws. And I congratulate this government. They need our full support to make Cayman what it's supposed to be. We were always top of our class. Caymanians were probably, even though living in dire times because of their experiences that they came with, we were actually ahead of a lot of the other regions in the Caribbean as far as thought process and making things work when we had nothing. So we have to get back to that. We have to use what we have to the best of our ability and stop putting icing on the cake because the cake is crumbling. And this is what we're going to do. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Much appreciated, really. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, how are you?
I'm not bad, and you?
I'm good, thanks.
Everybody good?
Yep.
That's nice to know. Yeah, that's called a kind of simple question. I get that. But first, I want to say something about the marriage of convenience thing there. I agree with what the guy was saying. If it's proven that they're doing that just for convenience, I think they should be deported as well. But I want to say this about it. A lot of the marriage of convenience thing comes in because, well, I wouldn't say I was sorry it happened, but I've heard about it that I believe it. A lot of people, the women who do it, is offering the guys money to get married.
Mm-hmm.
Now they offer them money, so they're not telling them that they love them, they want to get married. You understand? They offer them money for the marriage. So when it breaks down, then people say they use them for convenience, but not all the time it is that way. But if it's proven otherwise, I think they should be deported. Yes. Anyway, I'm not going to more say about that. What I call about is the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I fish a lot and stuff like that, and it depends on the weather to go fishing. I could have went fishing this morning, and not only this morning, but it happens 3 or every 5 times. You say you're going fishing, and you get the weather up till 6 o'clock, and then you get it again 10 o'clock in the night.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, the weather was saying it was going to be northeast winds 10 to 15 knots, and squall and all kinds of things. And this morning, they had 2 knots wind out of the east. You mean they can't be a little more accurate than that? I think they should be able to be more accurate than that. I don't know the weather people, them I guess must have put it better than that. I don't know who really getting the weather or what they're doing, but this thing, I'm sure it's more than me one has this problem with the weather.
Okay, and where do do you get it via an app, or are you getting it from the radio news, or what, caller?
I get it from right there talking to you. I get it from 89.9.
Okay.
And I tried to do it in the evening, and then do it again 10 o'clock in the night, because at least I figured my change between the evening and 10 o'clock. At least I know.
Mm-hmm.
But when they say that, but many mornings, many nights, they say it could be 10 to 15 knots without and this, that. And sometimes we go then, you go get up in the early in the morning, check it out for yourself. I mean, you see it's not that, you go fishing. Then we say, well, where is 15 knot wind that they were talking about is? So it's not anything that don't happen. Right? I don't know why they do it. I don't know what to say about that, but I think it should be able to be more accurate than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, throws off a lot of people, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Before you go, did you get a chance to visit the site of that unfortunate drowning accident last week?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I didn't get a chance to do it. I didn't get a chance, no. I didn't get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to, but I didn't get to go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, then, man. You have a good day. God bless you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. You do the same as well. Any other callers on hold, Ms. Susan? No callers on hold. Okay. So let's go back to the loss of Caymanian status that I was sharing with you before. So there is also a provision in our immigration law for Caymanian status to be revoked in some instances, in those instances where a person is convicted. It says that where the grantee of the right to be Caymanian, right? Remember now, you have to be granted that right. Being granted the right is not the same as acknowledging that you are entitled to Caymanian status. By entitlement is something completely different. But if a board or an individual has granted it to you, when I say individual, let's say the chief immigration officer, if the chief immigration officer was given that authority or work to grant Caymanian status, then where under those circumstances, if that person is convicted by any court in the islands or elsewhere of an offense for which the sentence is to an immediate term of imprisonment of 12 months or more, other than for non-payment of a fine, and in respect of which conviction his rights of appeal have been exhausted, which means that he has gone through, let's say if the person is convicted and sentenced in summary court, and that appeal goes to the Grand Court, that appeal goes to the Court of Appeals, that appeal goes all the way up to the Privy Council, and the person is unsuccessful all the way up, he has exhausted all of the rights of appeal, then that status can be revoked. It can also be revoked in those circumstances which, in the opinion of the grantor, was made possible by or facilitated by or connected with the grant, right? Or the grantor may revoke the grant on his own motion. Where the court referred to in the earlier section that I spoke about with the court is a foreign court. The offense committed must have been an offense that would be recognized as an offense in the island. So, let's say, for instance, if the person was convicted in a foreign court of assault or murder, we know that those are offenses recognized in the Cayman Islands. One question would be, suppose the person was convicted of a tax offense, and we don't have taxation here in the Cayman Islands. Would that be the case? That would be one scenario. And, of course, we also have a provision in our immigration law for those persons who, and I'm not sure whether or not we have seen this in the past or we'll ever see it, the person who decides that they will relinquish their Caymanian status. Now, we saw in 2003 what the lines were like down at the police station and over at the old glass house when Cabinet was given those grants. Everyone was queued up down there trying to get a police record and everything. So we know how highly prized Caymanian status is. But just in case someone desires to relinquish their status, it says, in respect of any rights granted under this part, the holder may relinquish such rights of his own free will by advising the board or the chief immigration officer in writing, and upon relinquishment, that person shall cease to enjoy any of the rights associated with that grant of Caymanian status. So any of you out there who feel that you are being reviewed, you may fall foul of the law, you are being investigated for the grant of Caymanian status, maybe through marriage of convenience or otherwise. I'm not sure whether or not you can take advantage of this portion here that allows you to relinquish it, because if the investigation and the proceedings have already commenced, then you may not be able to do so. But the provisions are there just in case. It's almost like self-deporting, almost, folks, like self-deportation as well. Let's look at the WhatsApp messages to see what we have here coming through anymore. We do have a caller. I'm sorry. My apologies. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, Mr. Connor, it's me again.
Hey, good morning again.
Listen, where do you get your news from? Because I don't see anything like some of the things that you see on social media. You need to tell me where you get your
that was when I saw this morning. I saw this morning on there about that, about the prison and prison officers. Actually, surnames were given and everything, but I'll go that far because, like I said, I don't really rely on social media. But I couldn't resist the temptation not to mention that one this morning. Couldn't resist it.
Right. Well, since you mentioned it, I want to say that I too have received information, about that situation, and shared information shared with me about that situation. But I am sure if it's on social media, it'll make the rounds to the relevant authorities, and they'll look into it. It'll probably reach other media sources also. One thing I wanted to suggest, and I used to do this on my talk show, was when I, and I'm not trying to make you become a legal learned person, but when we quoted the law, I would say to the guests that I had on, meaning the lawyers themselves, just to explain certain words in a more layman terms, as some people listening may not understand, because when we use grantors and grantees and that sort of thing, it can become a little confusing. And I have people sometimes listen to some of the shows, and they'll call me or message me saying, "Hey, what was this word? What does this word mean?" and so forth. So just thought I'd make a little suggestion there, because you and I both know how easy it is to understand when we read those things, but the average person who may definitely tune into Radio Cayman to listen may not fully get it.
And I do try my best to put things in layman's language, because I'm a layperson.
Yes, sir. I know that for sure. The last thing I wanted to talk about, coincidentally, I woke up this morning talking about the same exact topic you're just on now at this moment. And I made a status about it. Caymanians, I think Caymanians are doing themselves. My status was, for Caymanians to cease threatening their non-Caymanian spouses about, getting them taken off the island. I know a non-Caymanian spouse and a Caymanian spouse, both from different situations, reached out to me just to say, hey, what was my rights with this and that. And so I of course pointed them towards the department, and also to RCIPS, and encouraged them always make notes, keep as much records and document everything as much as you can. Don't rely on just, it's going to blow over, it's just a marital situation. I think Caymanians are doing themselves more hurt by saying this to their non-Caymanian spouse, rather than taking advantage of the resources that are available. I mean, they both have rights in their own rights under the laws, but at the same time, if there are certain things that are happening in these marital situations, there is the Department of Work, there is the Royal Cayman Islands Police, that they need to avail of these situations so they can make sure to get everything done properly. I don't think it's necessarily a nice thing to threaten a non-Caymanian with saying we're going to throw them off the island. But then, every situation is different. So just hearing you talking about that last part, I just wanted to say that. And I believe that our immigration laws definitely needs revamping, and so we're going to look forward to that happening in the very immediate future.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I'll leave you at that. I know you're going to wrap up soon,
Yep.
so I'll talk to you another time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We have another caller on hold, but we're going to take our last commercial break. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have a few birthday greetings that I need to give out very quickly, coming from Miss Jewel, Rudy Miles, and Clinton and Kerry Whitaker, all celebrating birthdays. Happy birthday to them as well. This person also said, in terms of self-deportation, one category is for destitute people. So at this rate, many of us will soon have to use that category. That person, destitute, if we're not careful. Let's grab our caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Orrett.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Weekend off?
Oh, yeah, it was good. Road yesterday got wet, had a lightning and thunder when we were, seems to every Sunday catch us in the Cayman, Caibo area, Rum Point area, in that area. And yesterday morning, she was coming down heavy, but enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you.
Good. Yeah, I me too. Good day at church and things, right?
Okay.
I had a little time to myself with the arena as well to kind of dive into some things. When I like to read meaningful things. Mm-hmm. And I just thinking about the marriage, the way you're talking about marriage and convenience and stuff like that. Right? In order to be in a marriage and convenience, you have to persuade people, right?
Well, sometimes you have to persuade them, but it may be a collaboration on all parties too. They may all collaborate in it without any persuasion.
Right. So, in order for you to find out that's kind of hard, right? So, if you have I was wondering if this includes people that have already been reported and being double investigated kind of thing, or what is this that they're speaking of?
Well, I made to understand that there are several investigations taking place by the compliance section of work in relation to marriages of convenience, and it seems that there are more than people realize. Much more than people realize.
Okay. This goes for the deceased as well, right?
Can't speak really to that. Well, can't comment on that. Whether or not it goes. You can look into where one of the parties is deceased, and I guess if that person still continues to obtain benefits under that, you would also have to look at statutes of limitation, whether or not they're in the statutes of limitation in terms of how much time has to expire before, within which you have to bring proceedings.
Oh, okay. So when you have a person that has been eligible of being investigated at the first point, you can't retry him or her.
Well,
even if it passed that statute of limitations, and you know that those other family members are constantly trying something.
I would be giving you legal advice, and I'm not in a position to do that. Yeah. If I try to comment on that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, I was saying, right, that should be a consideration where when you have a family member that has been passed away, but because the person couldn't speak or do anything physical in the terms that they could make complaints themselves, and when you have marriage of convenience getting away with what they're doing because of, I don't know, the lack of evidence in some way, but you have family members that would sign a letter together making a conclusion that this was the case.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of the mental capacity of the other spouse. Let's just use mental health for this, because they are abusing mentally ill people and elders left, right, and center. And they come in on the island and thinking that they are the only ones living here. Just saying, thinking that they're the only ones living here. Like, they think that all of our family members live abroad or something. Yeah, so it just as a thing, I just wanted to put out there, because I know that there's a lot of people that have made complaints and never gotten anything out of it. Right? Just because of who they know. And that's not fair for Caymanian. Not fair for Caymanians at all.
Yeah.
In our mental capacity of 97 or a little bit less than 90 square miles, I think that we should consider taking serious approaches towards these things. If a person has been questioned before, let them be questioned again, regardless of how long. Make them be tormented for life if that's the case. Because if it was in the case, they would have been off of this island and go and look for something else. They should consider that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, caller, for that. One of our listeners has written and said, with regards to the last caller regarding Caymanians threatening their non-Caymanian spouse with regard to taking away their status, I'm not sure exactly what the law speaks to now, but I know back in the 1980s when I served on the Caymanian Protection Board, if status was granted under the marriage section and that couple split within a certain time frame, I can't remember whether it was 6 or 10 years, the status would have been automatically revoked, and it had nothing to do with the Caymanian spouse. I'm not sure what the law speaks to now, because I actually haven't had an opportunity or a reason to check and see what it says. But maybe you may know offhand. Well, I still have the legislation on my screen here, and if I can find the section that relates to loss of status on grounds of marriage, if I can quickly find section 27, because we're running out of time. Bang, 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 bang. Sections 27, I think it is where permanent residence status, revocation and conviction. Under marriage, I think I read it earlier. Right. It says, yes, here we go. Where the marriage of the holder, being the spouse of a Caymanian, is deemed by the board to have been a marriage of convenience, that is one way for the loss, or where within 3 years of the grant to the spouse of a Caymanian of the right to be Caymanian under this or any earlier law, the marriage of the holder, in the opinion of the board or the chief immigration officer, has broken down. So if in the opinion of the board, and you can't just form an opinion, you have to have some basis to, of that opinion, some facts, to go by as well. So it's not arbitrary. So in the opinion of the board or the chief immigration officer, the marriage has broken down, or if the marriage has declined to the point where the parties have separated as a result of a decree of a competent court or a deed of separation, or the marriage no longer subsists. And, if you are a history of legislation, you go back and you look at the wording in previous pieces of immigration legislation in the Cayman Islands, the wording has changed. It has been refined to avoid any loopholes being created so that the authorities can really scrutinize and their hands are not tied when it comes to dealing with marriages of convenience. So currently, if in the opinion of the board or the chief immigration officer, the marriage has broken down, then that the right to be Caymanian that has been granted by the board may be lost, right? If the board is of the opinion that the marriage has declined, the status of the marriage has declined to the point where the parties have separated as a result of a degree of competent court or a deed of separation. And we sometimes see couples staying in that relationship just to ensure that the status is not lost, or if the marriage no longer subsists. So if a marriage no longer subsists, that means that it could be by virtue of a divorce, or it could be a situation where one of the Caymanian no longer is no longer alive, and then of course there are various provisions of our immigration law that also deals with that gives the person the right to apply for the continuation of Caymanian status after the loss of a Caymanian spouse. Not time to go into that today because we have actually reached that time of the day. Let me just double check WhatsApp messages to see if there are things that I should have covered before. Okay, this person was inquiring about what happened in Fiji, and I tried to give them an overview of that. They were a little bit surprised by that. This person says, hi, just catching the end of this conversation, but the marriage officers have a responsibility too when it comes to marriages of convenience. Yes. And what I can look at what guidance has been given through the Deputy Governor's Office to marriage officers, and we can look at that at another during another show as well to see what are the duties and responsibilities of marriage officers. We have heard instances of some marriage officers being extremely non-diligent, if there's such a word, non-diligent in terms of the way that they go about performing marriages as well. Folks, I want to thank all of you who tuned in this morning, those of you who contributed to the discussion as well. I welcome you to join Mr. Charles Glidden at 12:15 for Talk Today. I also want to remind you that we are brothers and our sisters keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are. I urge you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Ebanks at join Mr. Charles Glidden at 12:15 for Talk Today. And before I go off the air, I also want to express our sincere condolences to the family of the late Miss Chastine Borden, who passed away last week as well. And sincere condolences to her family. Have a great day and God bless.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice.
one radio station. Radio Cayman.